Yes, people, welcome to another edition of the Talk About It Network special. This is the October edition. This is the Halloween special on Sarcasm City TV, the Talk About It Network special, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. I'm joined by my G from Pod of Mercy, long-haired Linda, also joined by one third of the Red Lion Picture Gang, Nick. We'll start with you, Linda. What's going on? Everything good?
Everything's good. October's been good so far to me. I say so far
Okay.
because there's a couple of hours left. You never know.
No faith, no faith. And Nicholas, what you telling me? Man, like
Yeah,
Nick, that.
man. Always happy to be here with the family. You know me.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Thank you. It's always good. It's a shame we can't do this in person, but I don't know what's going on with lockdown. But you know what? That's what we'll start with. What is going on? I don't know what Boris has said. So are we in lockdown for fully? Like,
We
what's
will
happening?
be in lockdown from Thursday until about December 2nd, apparently.
Jeez. So basically, they're just going to let us out to boost the economy for Christmas. Is that what it is?
Effectively, yes. So we're going to go back to basically how it was when we went on lockdown in March, like the first time round, except schools will still be open. Schools, colleges, and universities will still be open, apparently.
That makes no type of sense whatsoever.
I don't know. Small businesses are having to close, but you can still like go to the supermarket and mix with way more people than you would if you went into a little shop. But none of this makes any sense. So we're just apparently just going to go with it and see what happens.
Yeah, that is nuts. That is nuts. And Nick, what are you telling me? What's going on?
Mate, fuck Boris, man. Guy's a fucking muppet. He doesn't know. He just doesn't understand people at all, does he? Like, it's just they have no idea what the fuck they're doing with this whole thing. They've made a shambles of the whole lockdown, like completely. Like, be it the reaction to actually locking people down, what they've actually put in place to it, the furlough scheme, bringing it down a percentage, thinking that people can survive, getting businesses like actioning businesses to close, and then effectively saying, right, we're going to give you less to do this for the benefit. And then obviously the free school meals is just cherry on the fucking cake. So the guy can go fuck himself, man. He's a dick.
Mazza. All right, well, that started off with stern words there for Boris. Please make sure if you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back, hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share it across your socials. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Salute to everybody supporting. Thames Baller says, big up to you all. Salute to Thames, man. Sees you on here all the time. Mo M says, it's rubbish once Christmas comes. Lockdown's out the window. That's fact. He also says, why is it that China was only in lockdown for a month, but for us it's a forever thing? Fair point.
Well, here's the thing.
Go on, Linda.
Sorry, just on that, because a lot of people are saying that China are lying about their numbers. And LS Dean made a really great point. I just saw it on Twitter before we went live. He was like, it's funny how people think China are lying about the numbers, but not the US and the UK. Like, our government isn't capable of lying to make our numbers look a little bit better than what they are, right? But the thing with China is that they went on lockdown like straight away. Also, everybody there is very, very used to, like, good or bad, following the rules. They're very used to wearing masks. You don't have to convince people. Think about all the anti-lockdown protests that we've had, the anti-maskers that we've had here and in the US. Of course, our numbers were going to go crazy. People don't like to be told what to do. Our governments are just, I mean, you said it, fuck Boris, but also literally every Tory. So it's like, it was going to be a mess. We went into lockdown too late. We came out too early. The numbers were always, they were like, oh, in August, they're like, yeah, go spend money, eat out to help out, go sit in restaurants, go sit with people that you don't know. And then come September, it's like, oh, the numbers are up. It's got to be young people's fault. And you're like, wait, you just told us to go and sit with strangers. Of course the numbers were going to go up.
Facts.
And it's the time that they put into it as well. So they go, okay, so on Saturday midnight, and then everything's going to be locked down the first time. So what's everyone going to do in the weekend? They can go, fuck it. Well, this is our last time to drink. Let's go and drink.
Let's go mad.
So the numbers.
What about as well shutting down pubs and bars at 10 o'clock? What, does COVID only come out at 10?
Facts. And it's simply
anybody that wasn't going to follow the rules and was going to get drunk will just do that at 7 p.m. instead and like mix with people and catch COVID then. Like, what?
And just rock up the party, isn't it? Right, it's 10. We still want to drink. We're still pissed. Back to mine. Let's go. Who's going to know? Fuck that.
Nah, facts. You're not lying.
The whole thing's a mess. They're trying to make a buck. They're trying to scrimp and make a buck out of people, but they're trying to drain it. They're not even being smart about it. And they're being and they're transparent and blatantly lying. And obviously, we've seen MPs that are just not following the rules either. You know what I mean? We've got people who are on low income, whose businesses have been shut down, who have followed the rules to a T, simply doing what the government is asking them to, who have had family members die by themselves in their house simply because they couldn't go out and visit them, and they're being told, "Oh yes, our thoughts are really with them, but the main thing is we get COVID done." It's like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. You have no idea what you're talking about, bruv. You know what I mean?
The worst part is these people died alone, and then you couldn't even go to their funeral because it'd be too many people. And it's like, and now you want to. So this is what real people, real society has been going through. But when we say, hey, like a footballer says, hey, can we give kids like free school meals during half term because everyone's struggling and there's a whole worldwide pandemic still going on? They're like, no, but we're going to give each of us, each MP, a $3,000 pay rise, and we're going to add to the expense budget. And you're like, so there's money for that. There appears to be a magic money tree when it comes to you guys and your salaries and your businesses. But when we're talking about small businesses and, regular everyday people that actually vote you idiots in, it's like, no, there's no magic money tree. There's no money for that. We don't have enough for that. What, even during a pandemic? I thought this system was built because it was better than all the alternatives, right? Yeah. Capitalism was supposed to be the one. It was supposed to be the one that everyone can succeed. It was supposed to be enough that there was a safety net to make sure that everyone had enough. Who's everyone? Because none of us have enough. It's just all the people that were already rich. Like,
well, it's a key opportunity to make the poorer, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, let's face it, we're not going to go to war. They're not going to risk the economy in actual war. So how else are we going to do it? This is the best way. And they've seen an opportunity to lose the same numbers you would in a fucking war globally, without any of the collateral damage. And it's a way that the rich still, like, you don't, Mr. fucking billionaire, have you heard one millionaire saying that they've got an issue with this? You know what I mean? Not one, because they're happy. They're reaping it in somewhere. They're going, all these businesses are going bust. I'm going to buy them out at 75% less, of the fucking price. I'm going to obtain these businesses. I'm going to thrive. We're all going to thrive. And the poor are now going to be poorer. And it's what they want.
They can't be mega rich if we don't have poverty. Yeah. You can't have insanely rich billionaires if there aren't people literally starving to death. It just doesn't work that way. We could all be comfortable, but you can't have the extreme wealth without extreme poverty.
Yeah,
it's not doable. And they want extreme wealth by any means.
Of course they do. And this is a proof to it. This is proof of it. Like, I don't think they can do any more to say that we don't give a shit about you guys. They can't do any more.
You know what's worse? You know what's worse though? The people that survive this, once we get to whatever the new normal is going to look like, this country is still going to vote Tory again. This country will absolutely vote Tory again, even because they voted them in after 10 years of the crap that this country has suffered under a Tory government. They still voted them in.
But they did have a relevant answer to it. Oh, we just don't really like Jeremy Corbyn.
Garbage.
Here's the thing, though.
Right. Just don't like him.
We know this, though. Like, people are idiots. Like, we know this, man. Like, God got to press the reset button. Like, social media is just a loud minority. So, like, when the vote was going on, everybody's social media was Labour, but the Tories win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that on social media where the loud majority in it. Just pull the plug in it. You know what I'm saying? Pull the plug in that in it. Pull the plug.
Should we get on to happier October stuff?
Yeah, let's go on to that. But first, just before you continue, Salvation of the Alexis. Did you guys see Paris? There was a massive traffic jam. People trying to escape Paris. I did not know that.
I didn't know that. I only knew about the terrorist attack there, not that.
Yeah, so they've had two terrorist attacks in France. So they had one in Paris, and then they had another one in. Oh, what was the other one? I think it was in the south of France. I'll remember in a second. I'll grab my phone. But they've had two terrorist attacks there, and basically the terrorist group has said there's going to be more attacks happening in there as well soon. So I'm not surprised that people are flocking away. Definitely.
What I'm confused about, I was just thinking that if they're going to be on lockdown, then it's harder for the terrorists to get to them. But the lockdown's only us so far, so yeah, that doesn't ignore that. No, thoughts are with them, man. Like, people are just as if you like. I mean, not that there's ever a good time to be a terrorist, but like, can you just let one thing happen at a time? Like, we're going through a pandemic. Can you not chill?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
You lot just relax.
The same thing about like the earthquakes in fucking Turkey. Like, imagine, like, so did you hear about the earthquake in Izmir?
No,
Like,
no.
like 70 people dead or something. The
That's-
big earthquake that's happened in Turkey after the past couple of days. Yeah, they're like, like people still buried and stuff.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I was watching that on the news, and I was just thinking, like, imagine going through this now. So imagine going through lockdown, like there's a fucking pandemic going on, and then your house just starts shaking and falls apart. I mean, you just think, fuck it. You know what I mean?
I'd be like, listen, this is not worth it. Do you know what? I would live like end of days at that point. I really would. I'd go and get like every credit card, every loan, just go mad at that point. Because it's like, obviously, the world is ending. Like, what are we to do?
Yeah, massive.
You know what? It's ending. Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do is just, enjoy our time while we're here. Ball out in it while you're here. You got to make the most of your time. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to an end, it comes to an end. That's it. But yeah, go on, Linda. Lead us into the first topic.
So, okay. So as I did last time, even though I really do not remember last month's episode, I only remember the beginning bits and then alcohol. So again, this month, I made a little note of the things that were happening in culture to have something to chat about while we were here. I made a note of less because we didn't even get through all of them last time. So I'll start off with a little bit of, I guess, happy news. Nicki Minaj gave birth to a baby boy.
Okay.
That happened in October.
Congrats to her. I didn't know that. That's how much has happened. I legit didn't know. I thought that would have been major news and that. I didn't see none of it on my social media, I'm sure.
You didn't see anything?
No, I didn't see nothing. I think that goes to show the people I'm following though.
Yeah, you're very football minded though, aren't you? Like, is all you're following like football and battle rap basically?
Nah, it's football, bar rap, jokes, of course, and just gem rappers, music. So yeah, like my following, like I follow a mix of people. That's what it is. I tell you, it's a mix.
I'm surprised you didn't see anything. But yeah, Nicki Minaj gave birth to a baby boy. Okay. She got some nice cards that she shared with people, including one from Beyonce. So there was that. Nice. In other news, Trump caught COVID. I'm going to just breeze past this one because when I saw this on my topics, I was like, as if that only just happened this month. It felt like so long ago that he caught it and was fine again and was at rallies and everything. But no, that was October. So COVID let us down at that point. So whatever, I'm over it. So 6ix9ine. You must have heard about this because there was jokes flying all over Twitter, Flawless. So 6ix9ine was in hospital after overdosing on caffeine and weight loss pills.
Yes, I did one of the episodes. One of the episode titles of Sarcasm City was that because we was talking about how are you overdosing on diet pills? Like you supposed to be this hardcore gangster rapper. Are you that insecure about your body that you're taking diet pills? You know what I'm saying? Are you on loose women? Like what's wrong with you, fam? You know what I'm saying?
Loose women.
You talk all this crud, all this smoke, test my gangster, suck my dick, and you taking diet pills. That goes to show how insecure this guy is. You get what I'm saying? And that's very insecure. And even though it's funny, it's still sad. You know what I'm saying? Like you that insecure, lose weight, man. Go jogging. You get all that peas. Go jogging. You get what I'm saying? Go gym. You know what I mean? Get a personal trainer. You can afford it. Man out here swallowing dice. Yeah. Sorry, it's funny to me.
That is funny. Linda. My first instinct was like, I wanted to have empathy for him, right? Because I tend to my first instinct is usually empathy, right? So I'm like, man, the fact that he felt he needed to do that and then he's overdosed and obviously he's in hospital. So he's clearly overdone it and his body has been like, shutting down because you don't get sent to hospital unless it's obviously serious in terms of an overdose. So like, I felt, bad. I felt like bad that he felt the pressure of whatever it was that he needed to do that.
Being body shamed, that's what it was.
Then I started thinking, I was like, of all the things that I've seen people say about 6ix9ine, not once has anybody said, man's a bit pudgy. Like, not once have I ever seen anything about his weight, about like whether he has muscle tone or anything to do with his body. The only thing I've heard about his body is he's got tattoos on his face. How is he going to hide? Like, when the whole trial was going on and people were saying he was going to be in like Witsec or something. How is he going to hide the tattoos on his face? And then, of course, the rainbow hair and the fact that he was starting to wear lace fronts. But like, it sounds like a joke. I'm not joking. That's what he was doing. But
don't
like, I've
know,
never heard anybody ever say that the guy was fat, the guy was chubby, the guy, anything about his body, his muscle tone, nothing. So
You know what?
the fact that it was caffeine and weight loss pills, because caffeine is known, if you have it in large amounts, to help you lose weight. So clearly it was a combo that he was doing.
This guy planned it.
He was really trying to lose weight. And I want to know who was telling him he's fat. Who was talking about his body?
This is two things, Linda. This is two things. Either one, people in his comments have been saying it to him and it's stuck, but it's just not at top of the comment on his grammar or on his Twitter or his YouTube videos. Or two, his circle. You get me? Your circle will. If you're a guy, you get me? I'm sure Nick can attest to this. If you put on weight, your man then will tell you. It happened to me when we was in lockdown and that. I hadn't seen Loza for time. You get me? Loza knocked on my house and opened the door. First thing man said when he looked, he's like, right, you put on weight. That's how we do as guys, you get what I'm saying? Because I did.
All right, Loza's rude.
Yeah, Loza's hella rude. You know what I'm saying?
Rude.
But it's facts. That's how we do it, innit? So that goes to show how insecure he is. Nick, what's your thoughts on it?
Oh, God's a prick. I don't like him anyway.
That wasn't the topic.
I don't agree with that.
Like, you know, I'm not surprised whether this is actually. I just think he just seeks attention, and I don't know whether this is like an actual thing or whether it's just him trying to gain sympathy because everyone just highlighted his snakeage habits and shit. I don't know. To be honest, I have very little sympathy. Like, I feel for him as a human being. Obviously, if he's going through mental issues enough to overdose on diet pills. Okay,
you can't say you have sympathy for someone and then laugh before you even finish your sentence.
Nick, I have no sympathy for him. I have zero, but go on.
Like, no, I do. To an extent, I do. It's just funny that it was that. but at the end of the day, you have to take everything he does with a pinch of salt. You know what I mean? He's very gimmicky, obviously. Like, he looks like a fucking Skittle. He just like he just lives for gimmicks and like lives to like be put in the fucking spotlight. So like, you got to take everything with a pinch of salt. I didn't even realize this happened. I've maybe even seen it and kind of casually brushed past it, going, okay, this is just another one of his things, in it. So fuck it. I don't know.
We crack joke about this. Therefore, like I said, the Packers MC episode we did, it was one where we had Lindrix on as a special guest. We was busting joke because it's great to see. That's karma. That get me. All that shit you was talking is the fact that reason why I don't like him is not only that he told, it's the fact that he came out. If he would have just came out and been like, yeah, I told him, was honest about it, but he doubled down on it. He was like, oh, I only told because they did this to me and they slept with my baby mom, they threatened to kill my mom. It's like, yo, you was the one saying test my gangster, and your gangster got tested. Now I respond like a gangster, you get what I'm saying? That's why I have zero sympathy for him, because he came out and it's still trolling. So the fact
to be honest, that's not really my issue with him, the snitching, funnily enough. I know that's most people's issue with him.
No, it's his reaction to the snitching. That's my problem.
But I get his reaction to it. So like him saying these because to me, the person or the people that I actually blame, and don't come after me, not that you can, but whatever. The people that I actually blame for the situation where he was put, it's the people who put him in a position to be able to snitch. It's the people that opened up their business to this random guy that they were clearly using for money, right? They were using him for money. They were making him feel like he was something in exchange for him paying for a lot of stuff and basically handing them bags. So if I'm a gang member and I'm bringing this guy in to actually provide the cash flow to my business and to me and my homies, like me and my gang's business, right? The last thing I'm going to do is give them the inner workings of what we do, because the first time the police pull this guy over, he's likely to talk, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's not so much the snitching or him saying or him trying to justify it, because in his head, he thinks he's right, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't have snitched. The thing that got me is the fact that he was out here like, of course people will support my music. Of course my music's going to get to number one. Of course this, of course, it's the entitlement that he had with the music industry. And that's why low key, the next thought that I had after the empathy when this story came out about him overdosing is that, like you were saying, Nick, it could be a stunt, because the last thing that happened when he was in the news just before this was the fact that his music wasn't doing what it used to do. So he got to #1 with that record that he put out as soon as he put out new music after all this happened. But then he, like, it was in #1 for like a week, and then it just, like, the most drastic drop ever. Like, it just dropped, and so it wasn't even in the charts anymore. It was basically that bad. So his music wasn't doing what his mouth was doing effectively, and so him overdosing, it's like, now you're back in the news.
A cry for attention.
Yeah. And so that's my issue with him. It's that he's always felt really entitled, and now he's doing things. At least he's done things in the past. This overdose may have been accidental, but he's got a track record of doing things to make sure that his name stays in the news. That's my issue with him. The snitching, I blame the gang members. You shouldn't have had this guy all knowing everything that could put you in jail. No, come on.
They definitely at fault. As
Wild.
well as like both in it, like it is like, and everyone involved in that situation got what they deserve. Ahmed here says
not everyone, because Jim Jones was brought in for no reason. Cardi B was brought in for no reason.
I'm talking about the people directly involved with him, not the extra people. Ahmed says that Flawless are a Mortal Kombat character. Salute to you. Salvation of the Elect says we are in the end of days. M says Judgment Day awaits us all. Ahmed also says, nah, Flawless, there's just been more important shit than Nicki having a baby. I just completely missed it. That's what it was.
Trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah, it's great. Lauren says, please do a reaction of the Usyk Chisora fight afterwards with Jesse. Yes, Big Fights, Big Nights Only is on twice tonight. So we're doing a reaction to the Usyk Chisora fight, which will be gone 10 o'clock. And also the Tank Davis Santa Cruz fight as well, which is like 4 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be back live twice. But yeah, go on, Lindo.
All right, so one of the people that we spoke about who didn't deserve 6ix9ine snitching on them in court, and thankfully nothing came of it, were Jim Jones and then, of course, Cardi B. Speaking of Cardi B, Cardi, basically, she filed for divorce with Offset. TMZ found out about it and broke the news. She didn't actually break the news. And basically, she's got back with him since her birthday. And her fans are very upset about this. They're like, you deserve better. You could do so much better than Offset. People were creating scenarios about why she had filed for divorce before she'd even commented about it. People were saying he's cheated again. Clearly, he's been out doing this and that. She even came out and was like, no, I just knew that we weren't in the same place. We were arguing all the time. And before something else happens, I just thought, let me end it. Then she changed her mind, which is her God-given right to do. So she ended up having to, I think she deleted Twitter for a while. Like what's the thing? What's it called? Disabled, whatever, Twitter for a bit.
Deactivated.
Deactivate. That's what I was looking for. Because her fans were wilding. They feel, speaking of entitlement, they feel so entitled to her life and her life decisions at this point. It's ridiculous. Like, I have a feeling that a lot of it isn't like, some of it, obviously a lot of it is her fans, but some of it is the people that were like, she's talking about, because when the news first broke about her filing for divorce, people like, she was talking about, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. And look, now she's getting divorced. All the pick-me's were so upset. Like, when she said that line, they were like, oh my God, she doesn't do any of that and she still has a husband. What the hell? And then she filed for divorce and they were like, see, you have to do those things. And it's just like, guys, like, relax. So of course, people have so much to say about these people. And I want to get your thoughts. What did you think about that whole thing? If you saw it on Twitter about people basically giving her a hard time for getting back with her husband.
Nick, I'll let you go first on that, because I know your take going to be hilarious on this.
No. I feel like, quite honestly, I have very little sympathy for a lot of these guys that put their life on social media. I feel like there's always going to be backlash and opinions coming from fans, regardless. I feel like if you put your life in the limelight, then you need to expect that everything you do is going to be judged. If you spend most of your life going, look at me, this is my family, this is me, my fucking husband, look at the shit that's happened before, look at the stuff that's happened now, and then going, listen, you guys don't have a right for an opinion. My point is, don't put your shit on social media and give people the opportunity.
No, I agree with that, with what Nick said in terms of people once you put your life out there on social media, whatever you get back is on you. This is why I keep my private life private. That's why if you go through my social medias, There's never nothing. I'm never like, oh man, just went to the shop, because that's nothing to do with nothing. I'm here to promote what I've got going on, bust my jokes and catch joke. Like, that's literally it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I use social media for. But in terms of her getting backlash as well, that's people, like you said the word there, Linda, entitlement. People feel very entitled. Like, because I'm a fan of you, that means I can pass judgment on your personal life. If you're a fan of Cardi B as an artist, that's Cardi B as an artist. Who she's married to is nothing to do with you whatsoever. It has no bearing. If she decided to be with Offset, divorce him, get married, divorce him again, get married to him again, that's her business. That's nothing to do with you whatsoever. You don't know the ins and outs of it. You get me? She could have been like, all right, man, I was a bit too hasty divorcing him in the first place. Let me get back with him. Offset could be a great guy. Who knows? You get me? He could be the reason why, I don't know, her next album is her best album or something like that. He could be inspirational. I don't know. This is just me guessing, but people just need to leave people's personal lives alone. Just because you're a fan of someone doesn't mean you should be dictating or giving your opinion on what they do in their personal life. That's a personal life, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
My confusion with the whole thing is, like, without sounding so general or fucking, I don't know, atheist or whatever, like, who the fuck cares? Like, does it really matter? Like, if a fan says don't do this, it's like, okay, well, you know, that's your opinion, but it's not going to change what I do or don't do. You know what I mean? Like, in the spectrum of things, what they say to her and what she does, ultimately, there's a big war there, because it doesn't fucking matter. It's all in the world of who the fuck cares. It's like, it's just opinionated. I can scream at the television to politicians going, you're all a bunch of fucking twats and dickheads, and you shouldn't be treating people like this, and the whole 2020 was a fucking car crash. It's not going to change anything. Just what I'm saying, it's not going to change what they effectively do either. If the whole bunch of people fucking, that's when petitions and shit go through. If this is someone's personal life, it just doesn't, in the whole spectrum of it, nothing's going to change. So if you're going to voice your opinion, you have a right to voice your opinion, just like she has a right to make her own decisions. There's a big divide, and in the grand spectrum of things, there's nothing they say or there's nothing she does that ultimately connects. It doesn't matter either way.
I 100% agree with that. I think, because I agree with everything you said, Nick, and also a bit of what you said, Flawless, as well, because, all right, so yeah, we shouldn't voice our opinions. It is none of our business, but we live in a world where, first of all, shout out Beanie. Man like Beanie.
Shout out Beanie each and every time. Hey, Beanie, you haven't been on Sarcasm City yet.
And you haven't been on Pod of Mercy. We need to make that work, by the way.
And that's also a travesty, so we're going to get that done. November, I'm putting it out there now, Beanie, in it. Not only are you going to do Sarcasm City TV in some form of fashion, you're going to do Pod of Mercy as well, which will be coming to Sarcasm City TV. There we go. Scoop news lot. Exclusive.
Hey, a bit of an exclusive. A little bit of an exclusive.
Exclusive. Go on, Linda.
So, yeah, no, I was just going to say that it is that, okay, yes, we do feel overly entitled to people's lives, and we do comment on things that are really none of our business, but that's human nature, and social media has made it even worse, right? So for me, it's like, if I'm going to share my life online, I need to be able to deal with whatever I get back from that, whether I like it or not, right? I need to be able to deal with the fact that people are going to say things that I'm going to be like, you know what, that's a good idea. Let me try that. But also that people might say something to me that I'm going to be like, this guy is an idiot, or this girl is a fool. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. He has no idea what I have to live through. You know what? I'm just going to ignore it, or I'm going to block, or I'm going to whatever, right? And I think it's human nature. So I have a hard time, like, you know, blaming her for it. But I think that's where Cardi, like, lacks a little bit, is that she does get very emotionally invested in what happens on social media. I think that's partly to do with the fact that her rise came from social media, right? She was Instagram famous, which is how she got into love and hip hop, which is how she got her music noticed and was able to then become a rap star, right? So social media has always been very integral to her, and having that engagement and the conversations have always been important to her. So I think it's hard for her to now separate herself and be like, look at everything I have. Look at my life as it is now, my kid, my husband, my life, right? I don't need the validation of this random person on Twitter about my life decisions. It's nothing to do with them. I don't agree with it. Therefore, I don't have to pay attention to it. That's a very evolved thing to do. So I get that it's not easy, right? But I think as someone, like, for me, for example, obviously I'm not famous, but for me, I do share a little bit of my personal life stuff, definitely way more than the two of you. I know the two of you share absolutely nothing about your real lives on Twitter or any of the social media platform. For me, I share a little bit. I share what I'm comfortable sharing, right? So I share, like, if something pops to my mind and I'm like, I don't care if people know about this, I'll share this. But that's because I've thought in that moment, one, I don't care if people know about this, but also two, I don't care if people comment about this. I don't care if somebody gives me an opinion about this particular thought or this particular experience. Therefore, I'm happy to share it. I'm not going to share something that I know I'm going to get triggered by if somebody says something to me or gives their opinion that then is different to my own. Does that make sense?
It makes 100% sense.
Yeah, I would never share anything like that because I know me. I know myself. I know my temperament. I know that I won't be able to deal with that very well if it's something very personal. But if I have a random thought or a random experience or something happens to me in that day and I share it and somebody just disagrees with me, I know very well that I can be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I mean, effectively, what you've done, you've become mentally prepared to share that information because you know exactly what's going to happen for the backlash. But that's exactly it. And I think it may be to the point where she's too far in now. But at inception, she must have known that if she's going to share her life on social media, like it wouldn't have been a shock to her to realize that there may be some backlash or consequences for them. And effectively, you know, and you need to take the rough with the smooth. If you're going to do this, you're going to have to accept it. People always opinions. It's about whether you let it affect you or not affect. You know.
Yeah, it's facts. But the thing is, Linda, you're sensible with it. Like you said, you'll share personal information, knowing that you could get people saying stuff back, but you don't care about the opinions back, and you don't care if they know it or not. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that's how I look at it. Like people can't ruin what they don't know. They can't comment on what they don't know about. Because everybody's got an opinion on everything in it. Like, obviously, I do a lot in the footballing world. And I know as soon as I tweet out a footballing opinion, my act is going crazy, even if I'm doing a show on it. Like, I know, like, the mentions, even people I'm cool with who are here watching now and not, like, if they disagree with me, they'll tell me that's not a problem, though. I'm open to that. But that's because we're talking about football. That's not me personally type of thing. That's what it is. I don't play that personal shit because people get too cheeky online. That's what it is. I think people get brave.
People like to cross the line when they can. People like to get under your skin. Like a lot of people have literally a pastime of getting under people's skin, whether they know them or not. And I mean, that's weird in itself and like get help. But for me, I'm just like, you know, if I share something, it's only because I'm comfortable with whatever happens with that. If I don't like your response, I just will ignore it. Like, I don't know you in real life. If you say something crazy wild and I don't know you in real life, I'll block you. If I do know you in real life, then I will just say to you in person next time we speak, like, leave me alone. Like, check your follows. I unfollowed you. You're a dickhead. Like, because I can say that to you in person. If I don't know you in real life, I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
but I think you don't know. Probably, you were saying about like the differences in myself and Cardi, aside from there are very many. But I think that from what I've seen, I don't want to say that like I know her, but from what I've seen of her career, she's a very like, by any means, I will have this money and this recognition by any means, right? She's even said herself, she's like, once the music thing isn't working for her, she doesn't care. It's not like the music is the thing for her. The thing for her is the multiple streams of income and a lot of income. That's what she's always been about. That's why she was a stripper. That's why she did all sorts of things, right? So there are very many things that between her and I, obviously we differ in terms of how we view life and how we view the importance of certain things. But I think for her, she might be so, like you were saying, Nick, possibly too far in, because that's how she got the thing that she was really looking for, which was the opportunity to earn a lot of money and to support herself and her family. That's what got her there. It was being immersed in her image and in her social media presence. So like, you can't now say to somebody like that, oh, just ignore what people say online. Like, don't worry about it. She's gonna lose it. That's her personality. That's her brand. She's gonna lose her mind. So I just want her to feel okay. I really just want her to feel good.
Sentiment FC. Yeah,
hey.
Shout outs to give you shout outs. Toxic saying what me and Nick have already said. Blunt Blonde does suit you.
I'm gonna go blonde, like in 2021. I'm gonna do some blonde.
You know
hair.
what? You should, you know. That's a good idea. I'm sure Nick would agree
I
as
mean,
well.
not this crazy blonde, but like, you know, just a nice natural looking blonde, whatever natural is for black people.
Linda, you can do whatever you like. You'd still look absolute fire, mate. You do you. You do
Thanks
you.
so much.
No, that's very nice of Nick. I echo them sentiments. Tox here lying again. He says, "And flawless don't share shit. Man's a closed book." This guy a joker. This is someone here who knows.
That is a fact, flawless.
No,
you
no.
act like we don't know you.
No. Let's not do that. Tox is someone who knows more. He knows more about me than anybody else.
No, he's saying you don't share shit with people that aren't like your close circle. You don't share anything.
Yeah. That's
so
right.
he's not lying.
Yeah. No. He's talking about to him. I guarantee. Tox, if you're still watching,
He's
comment.
not talking about to him. Tox, correct either myself or flawless, please.
If not, if I'm there, just writing in my close circle. Yeah. I'm not sharing shit with you. Why would I do that?
I swear you only talk to a select few people. I've seen you at events where people are trying to talk to you and you're just standing there like, I don't know this person. I'm just not friends with them. I've seen it. You don't even like engage, let alone share anything.
I try and be polite in it, but if you boring me, it's kind of like, yo, you gotta be having certain substantial. Yo, time's precious in it. It's the only thing we don't get back. Time is precious. Time is precious. Think about it. Time is the only thing you cannot get back. You can get everything else.
It's even more precious than money, to be fair.
There we go, because you can lose money, but you can gain money back. But once time's gone, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get that back.
Speaking of, so I've been on because I'm trying to be a normal human, so I've been on a dating website, right? And the app Bumble, so you have the option where you can like send random questions, and one of the questions is sorry, I have a lot of blonde in my eye. Hang on. This is quite a lot. Okay, so sorry. So
this is great.
So one of the random questions that you can send to people, right, to get to know them is what rate these three things in order of importance: time, health, money. What order do you put them in?
Woo, that's a good question. So what order do you put them in? Time, health, and money.
I want to hear what you both do, what you both think. I'll tell you what I said, and the person that I matched with, what he said.
I'd say health buys you time. So health first, time second, money, because it's disposable.
What about you, Flawless?
Definitely health first, because without health, you can't. Money's no use. Time's no use if you haven't got your health. Time or money. That's tough. When you say time, like, what do you mean? Like time to do things?
No, you don't get context. You only get those three words.
That's tough, innit? Yeah, I'd go health, time, money, because I reckon with enough time you can make money, but you need your health. So yeah, I'd go health, time, money.
Okay, so I couldn't decide between two, right? So I couldn't decide between health and time, because if you have all of the good health, but you have 10 years on this planet, that's not enough time.
Hey, you can do a lot in 10 years.
So then the first, no, as in aged 1 to 10. So as a child.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Do things. I'm saying like you die at 10, that's not enough time, right? So that was the mentality that I went with, and I picked time, health, money.
Mm.
And then he responded with health, time, money, which is what you both said. And then I thought about it, and I was like, imagine if you had, like, because my answer was time, health. So imagine if you had a whole bunch of time, but your health was shit the entire time. You were in And then I was like, I should have gone with my first instinct, which was health, time, money. So it's really interesting that you both went for that, because you both said what I was thinking initially, but I talked myself out of it somehow.
Yeah, that was going to be my counter argument. I was like, if you have all the time in the world, but your health shit, like shocking, you
might as well have not had the time, right?
Yeah, it depends though. It's such a broad question. There's so many factors that you can put into this.
Valid point.
Yeah, but ultimately, like if your health is bad, say you had like I don't know, you're dying from a very rare cancer. It was affecting everything you did. However, it was just killing you slowly. It's not curable, uncurable, but you still had the time, but you was just in pain during that time. Oof. Like, is it worth it?
Facts.
It's not, because a lot of people a lot of people are looking for that whole like assisted suicide thing because it's just not worth it for them. So yeah, no, you're right.
But 5 years on this planet of max health for you to fully enjoy, you'd swap it easily and instantly.
No, but if it was aged 1 to 5,
shout out, Mike. This made me laugh. Yeah.
I miss you, Mike. Oh my god.
Shout out, Mike, man. Red Lion Gang and that. Red Lion Gang. Facts.
He means that though. He generally means that.
Oh no, we know.
I know he does. We know that. Yeah, we know, Mike. Yeah, I mean, he don't. One thing he doesn't mince his words. We know this. We're fully aware.
Ever.
And any opportunity to give me shit as well, he'll be there definitely. Yeah. So shouts, Mike.
Exactly.
Being around the three of you, like you, Mike, and Alan, and your dynamic is amazing. Like, I just wish people like who don't know you, who just know you guys from like Red Lion, could actually be in the same room as the three of you. Your energy together is so amazing. It's just so funny. Like, I remember just standing in events just cackling at the three of you having a discussion between. It's just so hilarious. You guys are like a perfect match. It's amazing.
Facts.
All right, let's move on to the next one. So I want to keep this one a bit short because I don't want to get too deep into it because it's a bit sad. But the hashtag #EndSARS. Obviously, so I don't know if you guys know this. So there's SARS, SARS, which is an acronym. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's for the anti-robbery and crime unit, I think, in Nigeria. So it's a specific police force that has been put together or was put together in the past to, combat robbery, etc. But what they've actually been doing is abuse of power and hurting people, robbing people themselves, looking at people and being like looking at young Nigerians, for example, and being like, oh, they've got, an iPhone. Let's take them for what they're worth. Let's, steal from them. Let's make them take the money out of the bank account. Let's scare them, arrest them for no reason, kill them. There's been protests. There's been so much going on to try and combat the brutality and actually end the abuse and what they've been going through in Nigeria. And there's been a lot that's been shared by regular people all around the world, but also celebrities around the world to try and bring light to what's been happening. The one thing I did want to mention about it is that obviously I'm so in support of ending the horrific treatment of people. The one thing is I know that it gets people's attention. I know that it lets people know what is going on quickly, but the sharing of the horrible deaths and the killings and just the brutality that's been going on, because they've been protesting and then the government has effectively just set the police on them, and they've been just killing people left, right. And it's horrible to even know about that. But like, people have just been sharing this footage and it's just been on my timeline. Like, I can't even filter it out. It's been that bad. Wow. So I wanted to speak to you guys and get your thoughts on, because I'm sure you're in agreement with the whole EndSARS thing, but like how can we let people know the important stuff? How can we let people know what's happening is bad without traumatizing people all over the timeline?
I think.
Go on.
Sorry, fam. Mate, you go ahead. No,
you go ahead, fam. It's calm. You go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, it's a really important question that you've asked, but I think, unfortunately, it'll go round in circles. Sometimes you need to show people the truth before they start looking. And unfortunately, that does mean the horrible truth, in all its unfortunate, fucking majesty. It's if people have a really good way of sugarcoating things just to help our own process, it's a natural thing that we all do. So to just alleviate some of the stress, it's not too bad, or I gave a couple of quid to charity last week, or I saw someone's dealing with it, whatever it may be. We have a way of sugarcoating it, and when the raw truth is in your face with no explanation apart from this is happening, people just have no other choice than to deal with it. The protest isn't about what they're seeing; it's the fact that there's no way of them counteracting this with their own mentality. They're saying, I don't want to see this graphic because I've no way of shutting this out. And unfortunately, that's a good thing because they need to see it. And it needs to be shown to them. It needs to be justified. I don't think something as important as this should be sugarcoated. It needs to be seen in all its kind of gore and just as it is, straight up. Because otherwise, people will, they'll cushion it and they'll push it to the back and they'll make it a secondary, problem. And effectively, they won't to the point where they just won't acknowledge it. So
do you think that that's going to lead to a desensitization of these images? Because think about it, like through a lot of lockdown, we had a lot of images of, we've had it in the past, but we seem to have many more with George Floyd and everyone, right? We had a lot of these like American Black bodies being killed. And we've just had it again with that disabled young man. I can't remember his name. Being shot in the street, and it's videoed, right? So it's like, it's just like, okay, so we've had so much time of not seeing anything apart from the content that we look for. And then we go on the timeline and we're like, another black dead body, another black dead body, another black dead body, another. And then it's just like, and now we're in a different country, another black dead body, another black. And it's just like, are we going to get this? I mean, not me personally, because it just traumatizes me every time. But as a society, are we going to get desensitized to it? Is it going to then just be pointless?
I think we already are as a society. Not me personally, because I can't watch that. Like you mentioned the George Floyd thing. Situation.
I still haven't seen that. Like I had to scroll past it.
Yeah. I can't watch that. Anybody dying of anything that you've mentioned here in any of these situations, I can't watch. Fortunately enough for me, they don't pop up on my timeline often, so I'm fortunate about that. But are we already desensitized to it towards, in regards to our society? Yeah, we are very desensitized to it. Definitely 1000%, because people share it, people film it. You don't understand, this gets filmed, and the person has to upload it to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or wherever else. Then not only do they upload it, these platforms allow it to be uploaded, and then people share it. I would never retweet that or share that or repost it or whatever. Like, to me, that's crazy. Why would you want to see that? You understand the severity of it without having to see it. I already know, but I get Nick's point in terms of some people have to see it to believe it. I'm like that. Most things, yeah. But not with that. Like, I don't have to, just hearing the George Floyd, what happened there is enough for me. I don't have to see that. I've still not watched that video. I can't watch that. Whether it's 8 minutes, 42 seconds, I think it is. But even if it was 2 minutes, I can't watch that, definitely.
Oof.
I think, again, yeah, it's not just for personal, like for personal reasons or people sugarcoating stuff. I suppose it gets to the point where if nothing's being shown, if we're not seeing these things, it's so obviously these things are happening away from here, but effectively it then becomes influenced by the government and desensitized effectively through them. They then say, well, it wasn't as bad as that, or that's not really the case, or these are speculations. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the George Floyd thing, if it was not filmed, could have gone a different way. You know what I mean? It could have just been, this guy was acting aggressive, erratic, he had a weapon on him, and again, the fact that it was filmed sparked, the global uprise of people of, just around the world, of just outrage. And if it wasn't filmed at all, if it was just said, would it have had the same effect?
No, probably. No, you're right in terms of that. Right. Yeah, because
the header. Sorry, go on, Flores.
I was just gonna say, what footage does is not allow people to lie. Like, the footage is there, so it's there.
Exactly, you can't turn away from it.
Yeah, because like I said, the George Floyd situation, if that was not filmed, that would have been a different situation. That would have been put in a different. Imagine the Breonna Taylor situation was filmed. As bad as that was, just hearing about it. Imagine that was filmed. I think we'd still be writing now. That's crazy. Go on, Linda.
The only thing I was going to say is just on that point. So I've got on my header on Twitter, I've got the African proverb, which is, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. And it's basically you can see it in the British education system as well. We've all been educated here in Britain, and there's so much that's glossed over, right? There's so much that's made to sound.
Explain that, like that sentence alone, I completely agree with. Like, yeah, like 100% back.
And And people have this incredible ability to downplay horrific events. And, you know, it would have been a case, like you say, with George Floyd, if we didn't have the video, it would have been a case of you could say anything about him. You could say anything about his conduct. You can say anything about how he approached the police, and then you can justify the fact that he was murdered in the street, right? So, and you can do that with so many of the cases, Ahmaud Arbery, you know, all of these people that have been videoed. But it's like, it's just sad to me. It's sad to me that it takes horrific snuff videos.
Sorry, my love. 2 seconds. I just need to do something. I'll be 2 seconds. I don't know if Flawless is gone. Keep talking.
Okay, so it's just me. It's just me talking.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. This is just bad timing. I'm really sorry. 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm back in it. You hear me? I wasn't being unprofessional, people.
No, I was just going to say, I just wish it didn't take seeing horrible stuff and being traumatized by horrible things to take things seriously, or for society to take things somewhat seriously. But we are where we are, and I wish we didn't have to be there, but it just sucks.
That's it. You see that side that you just did there? That is it. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous concept. Mo M here says, Flawless, the mask is a good fit. Keep it for the rest of the podcast. You lot got jokes in it. You know what I'm saying? Comedians. Salute to everybody who watches again. You supporting Sarcasm City TV. We appreciate it.
Watching.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody who's watching. Yeah, do a big shot. Make sure while Linda's doing her shot, first and foremost, all our links across all our socials. So mine, Linda's, and Nick's will be underneath the YouTube video. So underneath this YouTube video, all our links. So you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us across all platforms. Like this video whether you're watching it live now or you're watching this back. Don't know. And also as well, share it across all your socials and subscribe to the channel because the numbers have shot up. And Linda just did a big shot. There we go. Big shot. Got you frozen. I thought you froze for a sec.
In real life.
I thought you froze.
I froze in real life. Oh my God.
In real life. I thought you froze in that. I'm trying to find out when this fight starting, but yeah, go on, Linda.
So I got these shot glasses today, right, from like a bargain store. They got skulls on them. I don't know if you can see, but that's more than a shot. It's like, it's too much. And I knew that the first time round, and I still filled it up. Anyway, let's move on. Let's make this slightly happier, less stressful.
Guys, can I just shout out really quickly? Mike from RLP says, hit me up on the for the next show because he wants to be on the next one. He wants to talk that shit.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, the November show with Mike? Absolutely.
Yeah, and the reason why I cut off is because JV rang me. Obviously, he's one of the new co-hosts on Sarcasm City, and he was like, "Let me jump on the next one." Yeah, JV hilarious. JV one of the funniest people I know. So we're gonna have Mike and JV on the Talk About a Network special. Definitely.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
What I will try and do, you get me? We're gonna shoot for it. Is get Toxon and Alan on also, so all members of the Talk About a Network special on at the same time. That's what we're shooting for, innit? That's what we're gonna try and do.
Be mad.
I need to say, like Linda said, like one or two of the red line kind of guys is probably manageable, but you guys gonna have all three of us up in that shit. I mean,
that's what we want. That is a fantastic 7. That there ain't a better 7 than that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't a better 7.
Hey man, you wanted this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
I gave you a month warning saying you wanted this. You should be afraid.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready in it. Let's go in it. We're gonna shoot for
I'm down. I think it'll be dope, but we might have to do like a super long one, to be honest, because we already run over when it's just us three. I don't know how that's gonna work.
We'll do it. You know what I'm saying? See, look, Mike said it already, innit?
So
he said before you know what I'm saying?
This is just Mike. You don't understand.
Oh, Mike, you know I have a bunch of dick jokes too. I found some. I researched some.
You've researched some dick jokes.
No, I googled some.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
All right, guys. So shall we move on to the next topic? Let's make this a little bit.
Let's go.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm so looking forward to your thoughts on this. Did you guys see Saweetie's video?
I didn't know.
So Saweetie, who's dating Migos rapper Quavo, She said in a live, I think she was in the middle of an Instagram live and everyone just kind of picked that part of the clip to share with everyone. She said, if your man isn't buying you a Birkin and paying your rent, then you should leave him, sis. And that sparked a conversation among women who have men or are in the tax bracket that cannot afford a Birkin, to have these discussions about leaving men who are too broke. She effectively told women to leave broke boys alone and discuss.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? These type of Nick, I gotta jump with this one first. These type of things,
this is you.
yeah, these type of things crack me up when they get said because it's like I don't, me personally, I don't look to anybody for relationship advice. I don't look to any of my idols. I don't look to anyone I'm a fan of. You get me? If you take a 50 Cent, a Charlemagne, whoever, you get what I'm saying, I look up to in terms of their profession. I don't look to them for relationship advice. You know what I'm saying? I would ask my co-Ds and my people close to me. I would ask a Tux. I would even ask a Nick. You know what I'm saying? I'd ask a you, Linda. You get me?
Don't
That's what I'm
ask Tox.
You know what I mean? No. Because Tux, you know what it is? Tux is a balance in it because I can be very harsh in it. You know what I'm saying? He'll try and make me look at it from the other side. You get what I'm saying? So Tux is he balances me out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So when these type of things get said, it's like, okay, who's taking advice from you in it? If you want fuck, don't. All I would say is if you don't want to fuck with broke boys yourself, that's on you. Don't let somebody famous say it, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, don't be a sheep. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would say. That's all I would say to it. What are you saying, Nick?
Okay, Nick.
So I know like a few wealthy people, like guys, and that's fine. They will buy these ladies a Birkin, but they'll also buy the other bird that they're shagging a Birkin, and they'll also buy the next bird they're shagging a Birkin. So if you're just going to go for rich men, yeah, then expect the rich men mentality. Like if you feel like you're going to find a rich guy that is going to treat you right just because you want a rich guy, yeah, they're not dumb. You know what I mean? If they see you coming with that angle, they're like, that's chill, they'll get you whatever they like. But when they've got what they want, they'll be done with you. And you're going to be missing that poor broke guy that loved you for who you were. Like, fuck this advice, man. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Okay, so I'll give my opinion on it. I saw a tweet a few days later that perfectly surmised my thought on it, which is apply that sentiment to your tax bracket.
Yeah, I heard that on a podcast I watched, but go on, continue.
So for me, from what I understood of Saweetie's words, and I will only ever call her Saweetie because I know it said Sweetie, but she spells it with an A in between the S and the W. So I have to say Saweetie. I think I understand her sentiment, which is find you a guy that's happy to spoil you. And if he isn't, then leave him. I get that sentiment. I understand it because it's a case of, and this applies to any gender, in my opinion, right? Which is if you're going to be with somebody, right? I don't think you should go out looking for someone, but if you're going to be with somebody, then have that person actually give a shit about you, right? And actually give a shit about making you happy, right? And they know ahead of time that something is going to make you happy and they want to spoil you in the ways that they can. If they can't financially, they may spoil you in other ways. If they can't, if they can't cook, they might do something else. If they can't, there's all these type of things. So find you a partner who is willing to spoil you, to make you happy. For her, it's Birkins and rent because look who her dude is. It's Quavo. Birkins cost tens of thousands of dollars, right? And they are usually custom made. The bags that a lot of these female rappers have that are Birkins are usually resold because rich people have then resold them and that's what they have. Birkins are custom made by Hermes, right? And to afford those, you need to be in a certain tax bracket. And I think that's what she was trying to say. At least that's how I interpreted it. And that's the advice that I would give anybody, which is be with somebody who wants to spoil you in the ways that they can.
Fact.
Right?
I agree with that.
And if you're not with somebody who will do that for you, who will care about how you feel, who will care about making you happy, then yes, you should absolutely leave them. The thing that bothered me is after this conversation, after this video went viral, everyone was like, yeah, he has to pay for this and he has to pay for that. Well, sis, what did you pay for? Right? Like, if you want a Birkin and you can't afford a Birkin, then you need to understand that, like you said, Nick, the people that can afford those oftentimes can afford to get them several times over because you are not the only girl they are seeing. And if you are not happy with that situation, some girls are. Some girls are very happy to be part of a rotation. And I salute them because they know their position. They're very happy to play it. They're very happy to get what they get. And they keep their mouth shut, which is all you want from me. Right?
Yeah, they're a role player or not. They know they're a role player, man. They know they might be on the bench.
I absolutely salute them, right? But there are other ones that think they're a main when they're not. And they think that they're going to be the only one and they're not. They think they're an exclusive and they're not. But they also still want the perks of dating a certain type of dude.
Yes.
And for me, it's just about being realistic in what you have to offer and what you want in your life. And as long as you can do that,
it's going to make me laugh. Right? It's going to make me laugh. Sorry.
Boy, with 2020 equal rights, what she bring in her empty hand. Okay. What I will say is to that, right? Because I've seen a few people, and I'm not trying to say that about you in particular, sentimental, but for me, here's the thing about the equal rights thing. There are plenty of women who want equal rights, who are for equal rights, who are for feminism, but also still want the guy to pay for everything. And here's my defense for them, right?
Go on.
We aren't at that stage yet. So if we're at that stage where everybody gets equal wage for doing the same job, then we can have that discussion. But until we are at that stage, a woman can say what the fuck she wants. If she wants a guy to pay for her stuff, then she can do that. Here's my thing. Here's the thing that pisses me off about guys who have some money, because I know rappers that have a habit of doing this. They're like, but she only wants me for my things. Okay, but you only flaunted your things. You went out and flaunted how much money you have and how many bottles you could buy, and you went for a certain type of girl. You lot can see this girl coming. Am I wrong? Am I right? You can see this girl coming. You know the girl that you're looking for. Okay? So when you see this girl and you go talk to her, and your first line that you say to her is, I have this, I have that. And then 6 months down the line, you're like, she only wanted me for my money. What is this?
Yeah, you act all surprised. Yeah, there's dumb. You know what? There's dumb and dumb on both sides, in it. That's what it is, isn't it? So you can't be surprised.
That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that for me, the whole moral of this story is don't talk about Birkins, don't talk about this. I know that was the big thing and everyone had that, buzzword in their mouth. But for me, be with somebody, first of all, be realistic. And if you're going to be with somebody that is willing to spoil you and that you're willing to spoil them and make them happy. And if that's not the case, be single. There's so much fun shit to do while you're single, by the way. Just want to put that out.
You know what? It's best. Yo, you can start up your own sarcasm. You can start up your own TV network and podcast all day long. You get what I'm saying?
Flawless put all of his single energy into putting 17,000 podcasts together. Like, I mean,
put shows together, fam.
But what else? Like, what fun things?
That's hella fun, fam. I have a ball doing this, fam.
Hold on, wait, Nick, are you single now?
Right?
Are you single now? Is that what you're saying?
I am, yeah.
Ideas.
I'm just wondering what you do for fun times as a single person.
Who, me? Or are you talking to Linda?
But why would I ask you that question, bro?
I'm sick of the sexism, I'm sick of
what you do.
When we did the episode of Pod of Mercy, I can't remember what Linda said. She said something, and I was like, yeah, if I said that, he wouldn't get the same reaction. I can't remember what it was, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you take liberties. But yeah, go on.
Linda doesn't.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we were drinking on that. I can't remember what it was. He said something. I can't remember. You know what it's like. It was
It could have
something
been,
sexual.
it could have been a number of things, pal. To be honest,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
loads
yeah,
of
yeah. You know what you're like.
you just put it
All
that
right.
way.
Do you have any more comments, or can I move on to the next or the last topic that we have?
Yeah, you can move on. Yeah,
Okay.
move on. Before you move on, no, just one sec before you move on. Yo, everybody hit the like button, share, subscribe to the channel also. And follow us all across all our social.
If you like what you're watching, you should absolutely hit the like button. Come on, common sense. It's in the title.
Facts.
Guys, what are you doing?
Yes.
Okay. The final topic is Mike. Okay, so I typed it in this way because I wanted to. I'm single and have 2 kids, loving life. Hey, go on, Mo.
Man.
Get
There
it,
we
Mo.
go. Mo, how
Right.
you getting? Mo doing bits.
I know single life is hard in lockdown, but you got this. You can totally do this.
It's really not, but go on, continue.
What do you mean?
What single life in what in
This has been
lockdown?
the worst time to be single is lockdown.
Yo, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just because I'm in my own world, yeah. I have a ball with me in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really am in my own universe in it. I have so much.
Okay, this is when I wish we were all in the same room because then I could look at Nick and be like, look at this guy.
It's facts in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally get me laughing at my own jokes all day.
Share.
Say that again.
How have you evolved? Share.
You know what it is? Just being more productive. I never realized how productive you can be in that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. We like with the shows and ideas and stuff and bringing different people on. Obviously, the whole footballing thing just took off as well, innit? I got endorsed by people I'm fans of during lockdown. That's the sickest thing. That's why I've seen my numbers go up, my brand go up.
Thanks.
Say that again.
Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So the final topic is Mike Tyson. I'm going to read it word for word. Mike Tyson's become the woke king we never knew we needed. Did anybody see the Mike Tyson clip from his show, The Hot Box or something or other? He did an interview with Boosie. Did either of you see that?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it though. Is it on his YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So Mike Tyson has a podcast called The Hot Box. He's like super into weed now, and basically what he does is smoke a bunch of blunts and speak to different guests, right? Yeah. Now Boosie has this whole. He's been throughout lockdown. He's been doing like lives and shit about. He's just been super homophobic. Let's be honest. He's been really homophobic, and then he's also been transphobic, talking about Dwayne Wade's child. Like that's any of his business, what's going on over there. So he's just been.
I got to cut you off here, yo. These man. Ahmed said she she wants to know about your sex life, flawless. Yo, just because lockdown.
It's this damn crisp mic. That's what it is.
Let me just put this out there. Just because lockdowns happen, that don't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I can still get busy. Like that doesn't stop.
Hold up.
That don't stop nothing. I'm saying.
Okay, we need to have a talk after this is over.
Yeah, we'll talk after this.
How do you trust these people?
No, you gotta do what you gotta do, innit? You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta run the risk.
Are you fucking with masks on? Is that what's happening? Let's talk after this. All right. Anyway.
Sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
My witch's hat keeps flying off. Hang on.
Hey, Nick, don't be shaking your head at me, fam.
Shut up. No. No, I will leave this.
Look at Nick, yo.
Nick, take the mask off. I want to see your actual face.
I'm good at the moment. I'm good.
Oh, Jesus. Yo.
Yeah, I know you good. You don't care about any lockdown rules or anything.
Yo, you know me. Nick didn't have no lockdown, but go on, continue anyway.
Okay,
I say it quietly, Nick. Go on.
As if you're going to say shit like live, bruv. What are you doing? What are you doing to me?
Next. Mike Tyson Boosie.
Yeah.
So you've heard about it, Flawless, right?
Yes, I've heard about it. Yes.
Okay, so effectively, Mike Tyson had Boosie on his show, and he asked questions that only a guy that can fuck you up can ask, right? So he asked questions that Boy, he said to him, do you have all this shit to say about gay people because maybe you're secretly homosexual?
Wow. Wow.
Brucey had to answer it like a normal person and not punch him, and was like, no, I'm not, I'm not, that's not my thing. But, I just have an opinion. And then Brucey was like, because Mike Tyson brought up him, his controversial opinions that he's been sharing on live. And Brucey was like, sometimes I just need to shut the fuck up. And Tyson was like, why don't you? Tyson gave me so much joy. I know he is so problematic, but honestly, he has clearly been through so much therapy and so much, like, he's gained so much experience and wisdom and knowledge that he's just like, he doesn't. Also, I think he's great because people will listen to him. Like, men will listen to him because he can hurt you. So you can't do nothing, right? You have to answer his questions because you can't hit him.
Yeah,
you can't
fuck you up. Yeah.
He's gonna ruin your life. Like, he's gonna kill you.
Yes.
Like, he's gonna
and then run really quickly. Like, just like fucking soccer punch him and then just dash as fast as you can and just hope he doesn't catch you.
And maybe we need more people who are extremely dangerous to be more woke. I know white people ruin that phrase, but to be more, empathetic to progression is the PC way of saying it. Maybe we need more people like Tyson so that other men can be like, hey, maybe I don't need to comment on a trans person's life. Maybe I don't need to kill a trans person. Maybe I don't need to do X, Y, Z, because they're the only people clearly that these people will listen to.
Yeah, maybe we just need to be less judgmental as a race. If someone wants to do, let them do it. And as long as they're not harming nobody, let them enjoy their life. If someone wants to be trans, that's absolutely. If you're a guy and you want to be a woman, that's your decision. You know what I'm saying? If you're a woman and you want to be a guy, that is your decision. That's nothing to do with nobody by you. You know what I'm saying? People are too entitled and have too many. Like, yo, get your own shit straight. Get your own shit straight.
I feel like there's a running theme with everything we've discussed today. Like
entitlement. Entitlement is it's really a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a big problem. Like, people genuinely, and it can only be small, genuinely feel entitled just because we brothers or we family or I've known you 10 years. So if you get this, you should just give me this because I've known you 10 years.
Or not even that, just even the stuff we discussed today, or you put your whole life in social media, so I have a right to do it, or financial COVID. I'm entitled to, you know what I mean, to be rich, and you need to be fucking. It is entitlement. Yeah. That's running the fucking train down there. So you have to. That's the title of the show, surely. Entitlement. Have you done this already, though?
Has to be. It is the running thing, all right, Nick.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Because I believe that humans have always had a level of entitlement. Do you think that maybe social media has made it harder for us to be like to check people? Because in real life, like say in real life at an event, right? Me and Nick are standing in the corner somewhere of a bar.
Yeah, we are.
All right, sure. And Nick says something about like my life in some way, right? So I'm talking to Nick and Nick says something wild about my life. In that real time, I can say to you, shut up, like, what the fuck, right? But you can't really do that online without seeming more combative than maybe you were meaning to seem. Does that make sense? So, like, in real life, I can shut you down pretty quickly in that thought process that you had, and you can in that moment think, oh no, I was wilding a little bit. Let's move back to a regular conversation, or let me move back to a normal thing, right? But somehow on social media and online, we can't really do that as quick. I feel like it takes people a longer period of time to do.
Nah, facts, because this goes back into the last point when you was talking about Mike Tyson, like what you're going to do to him. People, I guarantee if you go to Mike Tyson's acts, people are dissing and talking shit to Mike Tyson.
Right, acting crazy in real life.
But in real life, they wouldn't do that. Yeah,
no. Because
the thing is, we have a generation on social media who haven't been punched in their face You get me, for their words. If you get punched in the face for your words, then you're going to pick your words more carefully.
Let me tell you something.
It's true.
It's not even just punched in the face for your words, which has happened to me. But I grew up in Essex, okay? I grew up in Essex at a time when there weren't a lot of black people as well. And me and my mouth got in trouble often.
Yeah.
If you haven't had people try and rush you,
Facts.
if you haven't had people try and rush you, you don't understand consequences.
Yeah, facts. Trust me, I know. Like, I've had people try and rush me. I've had people try and fight me over shit that I've said on podcasts and before that. So I'm fully aware of how my mouth is and what words can do. So that's why I stand by them and I pick them very carefully. I pick them carefully. You know what I'm saying? You have to. That's like 100% spot on. And that's the problem with the generation, is that someone can be, because social media has put us all in the same room, but we're all at home at the same time. So you can be one place, they can be one place, and it's like, I can't do anything to you. I can't punch you through the screen. So there's nothing I can do. So you can talk all your shit. And if you're one of them people who just doesn't go outside, and now lockdown's double down on that because nobody's outside anyway, I'm not going to see you. I ain't going to see you. So it is what it is.
Here's the thing. I just think we need to all be a little bit more considerate, right? So if you wouldn't want that back at you, I know it's a very old saying. I know it's tired. I know it's biblical. I know it's lame, but please treat others as you'd like to be treated. If someone tests your gangster, then cool, go off, sis. Do what you gotta do. But like, if someone's just minding their own business and they're not causing harm to you or your loved ones or anybody else, then just, leave them be. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. If you wouldn't want people scrutinizing your whole life and what you're doing, if you're not hurting other people, then just don't do that to other people.
Facts.
And if you're going to put your whole life on social media, expect that there's going to be dickheads. There's going to be bots. There's going to be people that have absolutely nothing to do with their time that are going to try and say some shit to wind you up. Just don't get wound up. Go do something else. Go have a drink. Go have some sex. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Go do something. Anything.
Yeah, get a hobby. Do something that you enjoy. Get a hobby. Do something.
In these lockdown times in the UK, don't fall into the... I'm mostly talking to myself on this one, so this is quite selfish, but don't fall into the same habits that you did in lockdown 1. Lockdown 2 is a whole different ball game. You know what to expect.
Lockdown 2, electric.
You know what to expect. You know that, it's not that deep. You don't have to buy every single bit of toilet paper or pasta going. You understand what's happening, okay? Chill out. Enjoy yourself. It's winter anyway. Try and get yourself a lockdown boo if you can. And just...
you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But don't just get one just to have one in it. Don't do that.
I might get one just to have one, so I'm not going to co-sign that.
Yeah, I got co-sign, because then what happens when lockdown's over and that, and then you just stuck with
you can have that agreement at the start. If you start it from that way and say lockdown boo, if it ends in December or January, we're done.
Yes,
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not even like, it's not even. I'm not just advising people on some shit I'm not gonna do. This is my plan. Okay. That first lockdown being all the way. Listen. I've been single a long time, and I've very much enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it through lockdown, so I might get myself a lockdown boo. So lockdown boo. I'm so sorry if you heard that. I just scratched my whole ring against the mic.
It's okay. Go on.
Lockdown boo. Set your expectations at the beginning. Say this is just for the second lockdown. Once this is done, we're done. Everyone should be done.
That's, I rate that. That's very honest of you. And set what it is from the jump. Then no one can be like, oh, I didn't know. That's fair enough.
And if anyone is heartbroken after that, it's their own fault, and you don't have to feel bad.
Yeah. Nick, are you looking for a lockdown boo?
Nick's got a lockdown boo. Come on. Nick got a lockdown boo before he knew what a lockdown boo was. Come on, it's Nick.
Let's go, Nick.
Let's go, Nick. I'm abiding by the rules. I'm taking the government track and trace and the government legislation's on board and making sure that I'm social distancing. I'm making sure everyone follow the government legislations because COVID is a real thing. And just make sure that you guys are being safe out there.
Yo, big up my guy Ram. Just have to say that. Big up Ram and that each and every time.
I was going to say don't get the vaccine, but please get the vaccine so I don't have to.
Yeah. You and your lockdown view, I'm sure will be all right. You know what I'm saying?
I'll find one.
Yeah, you will. You'll be fine.
I just have to lower my standards like a tiny bit, and I'll find one.
Right, I think yeah, I think that's come to the end of the show. But this has been the Talk About It Network special. If this is the first time you've seen it, first and foremost, please make sure you hit the like button, whether you're watching live right now or you're watching back. Please make sure you share it across all your socials. Hit the subscribe button. And the Talk About It Network special consists of the free podcast. All three podcasts on the Talk About It Network are represented here. So myself from Sarcasm City, Linda from Pod of Mercy, Nick from Red Lion. We're going to try and get the whole gang on next month. And what the Talk About It Network specials are, you get these the end of every month. So we do them on the last Friday or Saturday of each month, and then we just cover everything that's gone on during that month, all current affairs. So make sure you lock in the end of every month. Everybody's socials will be underneath the video on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. This will also be available in the audio platform also, so you'll be able to listen to it on SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes with the rest of the shows on Sarcasm City TV. And this has been the Talk About It Network special.